The robots are coming. The robots are coming. Hide your kids, hide your wife. The robots are coming, and they're not just here to steal your dimes and swipe your nickels. No, they're here to save us, perhaps one and all, or doom us as a species. It's too soon to say, but not for Randy Kirk, because he's followed robots closely enough that they turn around and go, buddy, you know I can see you, right? I mean, it's getting a little weird, but all right. You know, humans, they do weird human things. That's what we're here to talk about. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza.
It's so sad. It's so sad when you make such a clever, kind of statement like following close behind, and I can't come up with anything. I'm like burning my brain to try to come up with a follow.
We could smell the smoke. We can certainly see it.
Yeah.
Guys, Randy Kirk's got his own channel. If you enjoy his contributions, you may go there for more of his wisdom. And if you find any, let me know, because I'm just saying that. In the comments, people go, why are you so mean to Randy? It's a friendly ribbing. It's what we do. If I didn't find value in your contributions, you wouldn't be here.
It's true. And I was always told when I was growing up that if anybody gives you a hard time all the time, it's because they like you.
Yeah.
And I believe it. And I believe them.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going on a tangent. I was on a bus, a little rented chartered school bus. I was in 8th grade. I had won a sales competition for the Everett Herald, and a bunch of us won a trip to Wild Waves for the day. And I was on the bus, and there was this kid who wanted to be cool, and he made a joke at my expense, so I made a joke at his, and we went back and forth making jokes at each other until finally he's like, I'm out. I got nothing else. And I said, thank goodness I was out too. And then we were friends for the rest of the day. So that's how it works. Sometimes.
That's it.
And yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But will robots be able to do this? Or will they always have one more? They might not ever run out.
They'll just become nonsensical. At some point, they'll, like, if they're ribbing each other, at some point, do they stop and go, why are we doing the human thing? This is weird. But I think they would just switch to robot. They would just switch to Wi-Fi and have the entire roast battle, the 30-day roast battle, in about a minute. So I think
there you go.
That's the future. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It was a great show. Now, I figure since we're here, maybe we should have a chat about this, because Tesla AI, who is not prone to hyperbole, says there will be so many robots on legs and wheels, not in the distant future, in the next couple of years. Thoughts on that, Mr. Kirk?
I was thinking next couple of months. I'm planning to see robots on wheels in June. And if they don't have robots on wheels in June, I'm going to be muy disappointed.
Well, we've got to decide for ourselves what each of these words mean. I'm confident I have a robot on wheels.
That's right. You already do.
I already do.
100%.
At the Shanghai Auto Show, somebody had their cute little robot walking around, and it would shake hands, it would wave and all that. But there was a gentleman with a remote controller. This is puppeteering. This is a very cool demonstration, but it's not really indicative of the future. I guess you could, if there was a little Grok inside sticker, maybe it would become a valuable tool. Right now, it's just a very cool demonstration, a hardware demonstration. And that's fine. But let's actually talk about that one part. In the next couple of years, you and I don't think it's going to be that long. What is your latest projection for, I don't know, the end of this year, the end of next year, for just Tesla robots?
Just for Tesla.
Just
okay.
for Optimus.
So my projections are always, people may or may not understand this, but every projection, I try within reason, that my projections are based on things that either Elon Musk says or that other executives say. I rarely go beyond that except to extrapolate. So maybe they only tell us how many robots they're going to have next year or the following year or whatever. And then I might extrapolate and say, well, that tells me this about that. But I try to stay within what they give us, what they've told us. So the very last thing that Elon has told us is 5,000, 1 legion of humanoids of Mr. Optimus, 1 legion, 5,000 in the factory, working in the factory in, I guess, maybe multiple factories by the end of this year. And it could be more. It could be 10,000. Probably not more than 10,000, but in that range, 5 to 10,000. He has reiterated that the other day at the earnings call that there will be thousands. He didn't say the 5,000 word, but I'm going to keep at the 5,000 number in my head. Then he said for year two, meaning 2026, we'd be at 50,000. And then he would set it to 2027, we'd be at 500,000. And then he said eventually we'd be at 100 million a year. Now, since then, at the earnings call, he dropped in a new number and he said by 2029, a million per year, or maybe it would be 2030, but in the range of 2029 to 2030, they'd be at 1 million a year. That assumedly then the 100 million will have to wait. I don't know how many years hence.
I think when you get into numbers that big, it doesn't matter. The big thing I've seen with FSD, for years, people have asked me, do you really think FSD is the future? And I said, 110% yes, but it has to work. If it doesn't work, it's not a thing. And if it does, it'll be unstoppable. And if you look at my history with FSD on version 11, I said, you couldn't pay me to use this. And then when version 12 came out, I resubscribed and I said, this is very good. I don't know how much of it I would subscribe to if I wasn't doing road trips and a lot more and a lot of driving. And now that we're on version 13, I say, I can't buy a different car because I can't go back. It's over. Driving is for the birds. Uh, and I know a lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people say, well, I want to be in control. Great, I guess, but humans are really bad drivers. And we're not meant for this use. This is not something natural to us. We're not good at it. We're easily distracted. Our field of view is not very wide. We have those front facing predator eyes. At least I do. So I don't know, man. It seems like once people have an opportunity to experience a genuinely driverless vehicle, no wheels, okay, four
No
wheels,
wheels, no.
no steering wheel, no manual controls, they will hearts and minds will be changed, will be won over.
So my experience was a little different. I paid for it when I bought the car
Mm.
4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, 4 years and 4 months ago, when we got our Model Y. And we tried to use it. Actually, my wife used it. She drives the car more than I do. And so I was not as comfortable with it. And I would keep putting it up. I would keep putting it and say, yeah, it made that mistake. I didn't like that mistake. So I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, like your story though, it ends the same way. And I'm on hardware 3, which means I'm not don't have quite as many of the cool stuff. But starting, I want to say it was 6 months ago, 5 months ago, when we got that new release, and then my wife and I we didn't get the absolute newest release until a couple of weeks ago. Oh my goodness. The new release, the reason we didn't get it is because our Wi-Fi to our garage. We weren't getting connected, blah, blah, blah. Finally, somehow it got enough connection to come on board. And that level, I mean, like you're just saying, why would I ever want to drive?
Nothing against driving, but I mean, there's it's when I got back from my long flight returning from China, I didn't have to think about my drive home. I was I would have been worried, an hour drive home in rush hour when I'm tired. How am I going to be feeling? Am I up to it? Should I stop and get coffee? But no, as long as I'm reasonably rested and alert, I can supervise. It doesn't take a big mental toll. It allows me more freedom to enjoy my life. Now, Randy, how can I enjoy my life more when I'm not in a car? Optimus could make my life easier.
Well, definitely. So whether if you own a factory or you own a retail store or something else, there's all kinds of possibilities there. But let's talk about the eventual use in the home. almost everybody that I've ever talked to goes, "Yeah, I could fold my laundry. It could put the clothes in the washing machine. It could put my dishes in the dishwasher. It could cook meals." And I'm thinking to myself, I don't spend like an hour a week preparing my meals, washing my dishes, or and I don't think my wife spends an hour a week doing the wash. Everything is so simple today. I don't see this as being the great opportunity when it comes to the Optimus humanoid in the home. What I see is if I get hurt or somebody's in my home that gets hurt, it is a doctor.
Well, how
If I
long
want to
before it
leave,
can do those things? Day one, it can fold laundry. Day one, it can get my mail. How long before I can say paint my house? How long before I can say
I
safely
think they
operate the lawnmower?
I think they won. I mean, I just think
You
that's
think those will be
again.
capabilities within the next 6 months?
Well, no, I don't think they'll be available to homeowners in the next six
No, but
months.
the but if but Tesla could, if Elon wished to have those robots be at his own house for his use for testing purposes, it could literally go unsupervised 6 months from now, mowing lawns, cleaning gutters, painting, cooking. You think it'll have those
Being the
physical
doctor,
capabilities?
being the coach. See, because you could teach, help you with your
Real
golf swing.
so all those things, your golf
Well,
swing.
I don't know. So
That's a lot of
yeah,
dexterity.
so I don't know. And part of the reason I don't know is because the people that are the closest to it, the ones who are actually making the decisions at that level, are not sharing. so, so we have a lot of information. We know that there's conversations about how we could watch a YouTube video, a how-to YouTube video, and be able to mimic it from a YouTube how-to video. We know that there's people that are saying that you can set up, uh, um, you know, you know, other kinds of training sessions where it's where they watch and then do, or where you put the body suit on and you use the body suit to electrically tell it how to do a particular movement or whatever. But nobody is really, not even the competition is really telling us how clever these are at this point in terms of being able to get something sophisticated in a short period of time.
Well, I would, and this is a little out there, but I have this campaign idea. I need your help to orchestrate it. We're going to buy a bunch of sharing is caring shirts and just pay people to kind of hang out in Palo Alto near the engineering studio. So maybe they'll get it in their head that they should share some of their progress. How
There you
soon
go.
before you would trust Optimus to babysit an infant?
Again, how soon? It's another question that is just unanswerable.
No,
In my
no, you must
opinion,
answer it because
I
we
must.
are going to make a
2
horror movie out of
years,
this, and it'll be
20,
your
20,
grandchild.
20, 25 months, 3 days, and 2 hours. I mean,
Hey,
it's, it's
guys, I asked a very silly question. That was a perfect answer, right? In the
I
comments,
mean,
how
I
good was
think
that
it's
answer?
I think that it's going to happen way faster than most people think. I think that if Elon has said that he thinks it's probably 3 years before they'll be ready to go into the home, I think in 3 years when they're ready to go in the home, they will be suitable to babysit your kid.
Okay, guys, in the comments, what I actually want to know is all those things. But the one I really want to know is what is a use case you have that you don't think it'll be ready to do right away? Something that's challenging that you need it to do. Laundry, dishes. I think those are all like the first step. Those are the first things I taught my kids to do, other than brush their teeth. That's a great idea. Think of how much time I'll save if it wakes me up each morning by brushing my teeth. Good gravy, that'd be terrifying. That feels like a Wallace and Gromit moment. And I'm here for it. Guys, in the comments, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it. Check out Randy. Stay tuned to Juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop.